Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video. I'm working in my traveler's notebook about the books that I read, and this is the one I'm doing today, The Tattooist of Auschwitz. And oh boy, this is one of those books where it's incredibly good, but it's also incredibly hard to read. So I'm glad I read it, but it's going to take some emotional recovery time, I think, if you read this. And I have to say, I have a lot of World War II based books that are on my to-be read list. It's a time period that I have a lot of interest in, and I've always gravitated towards it for pretty much as long as I can remember. So this was on that list. I certainly have more. This one I read as a physical book. I do a mix of things. I do audiobooks, I do physical books, and then once in a while I will do a digital book and read it on my iPad, but that's my least favorite way of reading. I don't enjoy having to have my face like in a screen to do it. So if it's going to be actual, reading instead of listening, then I prefer a physical book. So I had this one. And I'm not sure if I'm going to mention that or not, like in whatever I do on this page. We'll see. For now, I have pulled out my bag of stuff that I specifically keep for doing TN layouts. So I'll go through there, see if I can find a background that I like for this. And then I do want to journal. So I have to figure out, is there enough space? First of all, I could cut off the author if I needed to. I could just cut it right here. That would save me a little bit of space. And then I also need to have something that I can either put a white strip over it to journal, or there's enough room where it's light enough on whatever the paper is to journal. So we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit all that in, but you never know. So of the 4x8 pieces that were already cut to that size, they're made to be TN inserts. I found 3 that I'm considering. I have this one. I love the fact that it's got the exclamation points, as in pay attention, this is very important. And there is a little bit of a pink tone to this right here, and then even right over here. This is almost more of like a coral, but I think it works fine. So I do like that one. This next one is along the same lines. It's still kind of a pinky background, but the flower color I think works well with what's up top here with the book. But I'm not sure I want to flower anything happening there, but I like the color. That's mainly why I'm choosing it. And then I have this one, which isn't at all what I was thinking about, but part of it works. I love that it says here are the details. There is some journaling space built in, and I would just cover up this part that says my story and do like this maybe. And then that buys me more journaling room too. I could start here and go down, or I could get even more room if I cut off the author. So I think I just have to decide what all do I really want to do. But I'm thinking it might be this one. I like that the background would kind of be white still, but you'd get the color in other places. But then I also have to figure out what else do I want to put on this? Because the color of those things might influence the color of these things. So I went into some of my stuff that I have that is book themed and reading themed, and I found something I think I want to use. It's this cutout circle that says well read. It's kind of that coral color. I think that would match nicely with what we're seeing there. But then I almost have to use this because I think putting that against either one of these, it's okay, but it really blends in too much. This color is too close to those. Whereas here, it will definitely stand out more. So I have to apologize if you can hear my family making noise upstairs. I'm sorry. They're being very loud for some reason right now. Other than that, though, let's move on. So when I was looking at this, I realized this is one from an old kit that I bought from Kelly Perky. And these are actually bigger than some of the TN inserts you can buy or pages that you can buy. It's larger than 4x8, so I do have to do a little bit of trimming. I have to cut it down, but that's fine because it's blank up to the edges on a lot of this. So that works perfectly for having to cut some of it. So I'm going to do that. Once I have that done, then I'll move on to actually starting to apply everything. All right, I have cut this down and I went straight, just traditional 4x8. And you can see like that is the perfect fit. The corners will go right up to where the curve happens, so I don't have to adjust anything. But there's enough left here where when I close this, it won't hinder that because it's not right up to the seam. So that's awesome. So now I can put on these two items, and then we'll see if I add anything else. I feel like it's going to need something else. I'm just not sure what. All right, so I have that all adhered down, and I left the author on there, and now I wish I hadn't. I was trying to figure out where to put this, and I think I want to hang it over the bottom, which I could do like this, but then you still see the Heather, which it's not that big of a deal, but it kind of reads like Heather's well read. That's not what I want. So what I might do is in this same bag of stuff, I have all these branding strips in there. I'm going to see if one of those matches, and I can put it over this to cover that up. Then it'll be a nice little barrier between everything, and then this thing on top won't look weird. I found two options here that I like. This one, I'm a little concerned because it's quite close to this color, but it has a pattern in it. So I kind of like that it's different enough that maybe that would look okay. Let's try it. I don't hate it, and I could leave that little white part on there too, just to differentiate a little. So I have that. It's just a lot of tone on tone purple there. But then I have this one, which is also kind of close to this. It's definitely lighter, but it's there. So that's how that would look. I like them both. I'm just not sure. I need a few minutes because I'm going to play around again and just like really think about what I like, because I think they're good, but I just don't want to regret later the one that I chose. I've decided to go with this one. I just felt like that purple was too much. It was way, way too close to this. This, at least, there's a clear lighter option, darker option. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. I do need to cut it, and I think I'm gonna go about maybe 3.5 or even 3.25 inches, because I want it to start at the left edge. But then, I mean, I could take it all the way to the right edge, but I kind of like the idea of it stopping at this purple line. But we'll see when I cut it which one I decide to go with. No, you know what? I'm just gonna cut it for that line. I'll probably have to measure to get that pretty close, but that's okay. All right, so when I measured, it was just a hair over 3.5 inches. So that's where I cut it. I'm gonna adhere it now. It's gonna go right over that name, and like just with a hair of white space showing there and on the other side. Yeah, I think that's good. Got a little of my mono sticking out there, I think. Ooh, I don't want to mess with it too much. Or maybe it's just showing because it's blue, the paper's blue on the other side. Okay, I will leave it. I'll try not to mess with it too much, but there's that. And then I can put this on as well. I thought maybe this was sticker paper, but I don't think so. I think I don't see a line, so I think I just printed it on cardstock. Let's see, so I want it. Oh, shoot. I did not totally get it over the name, which is what I wanted. Ah, and it just ripped. I do have the other piece. I could recut if needed, but I would love to just be able to move this one. Sometimes I can stick it right back down, and it's fine. Other times I need more adhesive. Does that cover it all the way? Yes. That seems pretty good, like it'll stay. Yep. And then I can do this. I don't want to press it down yet. Do I like it there? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Is that even? Yes. Whew, all right. Now that I have that, I can figure out journaling, and then do I want to embellish anywhere else? All right, so I did my journaling. There it is. So I have that part done, and I do feel like I need something up top. For some reason, this feels very blank to me. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I pulled out all of my circular elements here. And I'm just going to pick one and cut it in half. The edge can hang over. These are pattern ones or things that say something, so I'm not sure that'll work, but I will find one. Oh, I forgot. I have these stickers too. I'll find one that matches, cut off the edge, and really it's just for visual interest. That's all it's about. All right, amongst all my circles here, I found this one, which I love. I love that it's half and half, and then it's also got a darker ring around it. I think I'm going to cut it off right at the divider line, so I'll use the colored part, and it'll look like that. All right, there we have it. I did decide to put in a mini staple just for aesthetics. It doesn't really serve a functional purpose. It's just for the way it looks, but I like how that, I feel like it brings the whole page together, and I like that. So here's another one done for my books. Thanks for watching.